This week on LandLeader Television.
We are the leaders of the land. Land is what we live on. It can be explored, built upon, and cultivated. Land holds our wildlife, crops and livestock, and the homes in which we live. It provides a resource for your family. It's what our forefathers settled and our brave fight to protect. It asks that you respect it, keep it free, and put back what you have taken. At times, it's purchased, sold, and traded, and it's passed on from generation to generation. So it's our duty as land brokers to be champions of conservation, habitat management, and ownership. We possess a deep love for our land and respect for all it provides. We are LandLeader.
This property is brought to you by Outdoor Properties of Nevada. See how we approach land differently.
My name's Robert Monroe. We're in Lovelock, Nevada. I'm the owner of this ranch. I've been on this ranch since I was in the 4th grade. We moved here from California. Been almost 59 years. I went to high school here, and I've worked on this ranch since I've been a little kid. Oh, it was great growing up here. My gosh, we had duck hunting, and we'd go duck hunting before school, after school. We had awesome chuck hunting in Nevada, probably some of the best there is around the country. And it was just a fun place to grow up. It's kind of a small town, yet you're only an hour and 15 or 20 minutes from Reno. A little over 2 hours to Lake Tahoe. There's a lot of recreation in the area out here. In the mountains, there's great mountain hiking here. It's centrally located, but yet we're not crowded yet. If you want to go for a bicycle ride, you might not see one car all evening on a bicycle ride. I mean, it's still very quiet. Some of the history of this ranch come clear back from when the horse-drawn days. Water in here was decree water and not from the reservoir. These were big horse barns. The blacksmith shops, they built and fixed a lot of their equipment here. I don't even know how many people were on this to run this ranch at that time, but it was a lot. They put the reservoir in the mid-30s after the Depression. They were able to store the water and have a water season to run clear into the fall till the middle of November. Changed the valley completely. You could grow a lot of different crops. You had a whole season to grow crops. And when I was a kid, there used to be sugar beets in here. This ranch used to grow garlic. We grew alfalfa seed for almost 30 years on this ranch. It's great wheat ground, but it's a very productive soil. It's old lake bottom soil. But the biggest thing here is the laser level flood irrigated ground. We have no pumps, no wells, no power bills. Not only the power bills on all that stuff, the maintenance on all that equipment from sprinklers and that becomes huge. We irrigate 1 time per cutting, which is very unusual because our water table's about 6 feet here. It's basically a really simple ranch to run. And it's just nice to watch stuff grow. There's 2 homes on the ranch, a couple mobile homes for help. We built the improvements on this ranch to last. The hay barns are over-engineered for wind loads. The shops have got 12-inch rebar floors for grain storage in them. Everything was built to last a long time. There was just a lot of thought went into this ranch. Not just one generation built this. There's 3 generations that went into this place. We've got deer, ducks, quail, and wild turkeys. We've got a lot of deer, a lot of mule deer on the ranch. We really don't hunt them here. They're kind of nice to see. A friend of mine told me about Todd. We met in Reno. Todd has a great reputation for selling ranches, and I've been really impressed with the way he's done it. He works at what he does. He puts the time in. He spends the money advertising, and he knows what he's talking about. A lot of people don't appreciate something good because they just don't know the difference. But Todd's been in a lot of areas, and he's seen a lot of stuff. That makes a big difference if you're going to sell a ranch.
Hi, I'm Todd Renfrew from California Outdoor Properties and Outdoor Properties in Nevada. We're sitting here in Lovelock, Nevada, just about an hour and a half east of Reno. We're at the Monroe Land and Livestock Headquarter Ranch. The owner is a 3rd generation farmer and has been on this ranch since 1961. The headquarter ranch is 1,450 acres. The total acreage for the ranch is 2,300 acres. The most impressive thing about this ranch is the water. Back in the 30s, they built a White Patch Reservoir, and now that reservoir feeds 36,000 acres in the valley. And this ranch has 964 shares of water. It is loaded with fish. There's campgrounds. It's a pretty neat spot. Tax advantages here in Nevada are just incredible. And it's something that a serious buyer needs to look at. You need to slow down to enjoy Nevada.
It's getting to the point in my life that I want to do some traveling, and somebody else should enjoy this now. I'm kind of semi-retired. I only run half the cattle I used to run. It's time to go out when everything is really good, because the thing is in as good a shape as it's ever been in. It's really in great shape right now.
This segment was brought to you by OtterBox, building extraordinary products to enhance your life, and by Cinch Jeans and Shirts, the leader in premium Western wear clothing since 1996. The Cimarron Valley Ranch boasts over 45,000 acres of land spread along the historic Santa Fe Trail in Colorado and Oklahoma. This ranch runs along 22 miles of the Cimarron River and supports up to 2,000 cows using rotational grazing pasture, turnkey ranching operations, and ample water from the river and ponds to stock tanks and 10 pivot irrigated circles. Excellent hunting for elk, deer, quail, turkey, and more are found on this rare contiguous ranch. Call Dax Hayden for more information or visit HaydenOutdoors.com.
Out here, there's no boss, no 9 to 5, no vacation days. You see, this is more than a job. It's a calling. It's the sweat, the grit, the worry, the wonder, and the truth that you were born to lead this life.
LandLeader Television is brought to you by OtterBox. At work or at play, OtterBox enables your everyday. Cinch Jeans and Shirts, your leader in Western wear. Gunworks, 1,000 yards capable right out of the box. Western Heritage Consulting and Engineering, built on grit. Blue Otter Polarized Sunglasses, the very best. Covert Scouting Camera, top quality trail cameras with unmatched support. Swarovski Optic, perfection meets tradition. Kevin's Catalog, the place for Kevin's fine outdoor gear and apparel. And by Feed the Party, the best steaks and meats at the best prices. This property is brought to you by Living the Dream, matching exceptional properties to exceptional people.
My ex-wife used to drive me down the gravel road, and we'd drive past those two little pastures, and I thought, boy, look at those little pastures. Isn't that beautiful down in through there? And I thought, no, I'd never own that place. The old boy come by my house about 10 years later riding a horse and approached me about buying it. He knew I probably could afford it. I told him, oh, heck yeah. It's just beautiful up at the top of pastures. Got up there and checking it all out, and here comes a four-wheeler racing down there at us. There's this old guy hops out of there and says, what are you doing up in here? And I said, well, I was buying this from Ron Chambers. He said, well, I'm Ron Chambers' son-in-law, and I don't know nothing about all that. And I said, well, that's the deal. And he took off on his four-wheeler real quick, and here comes his wife. She's just screaming and waving her arms. I just pedaled to the floor and drove right on by her. By the time I got home, he was calling me on the phone. I had to apologize. My name's David Eck. I'm the owner here. We're at the Droptine Lodge in Pulaski County, Missouri. It's beauty, and it's clear water. And that seclusion, again, it's very private, you can get back in here and you can live for a week and never miss that cell phone. It'll calm you down out here. The privacy, clear mountain waters, and just the beauty of it all. 2 ponds up where there's no creeks. Good place for raising cattle lots. Well, I've got 37 mama cows and a couple bulls. It can run a few more and it can run a few less. I built this nice little cabin right here. It was a place for me to retire, and I've decided to keep my other place. And the shop up there is foam insulated, double foam insulated. Right off the highway there, you can get semi in there if you need to. There's lots of walnut logs here. There's the farming, wildlife. There's lots of deer. The Fort Leonard Wood shooting range holds vast amounts of deer that are over in there and hiding. They come across the highway down there onto this property regular. National forest almost all the way around. I've seen 100 turkeys at a time out in this field right here. Jeff was a good friend of another good friend of mine, Clinton Jarrett, up in Waynesville, Missouri. He introduced me. I think Jeff's been doing a real good job.
Today we're here at the Droptine Lodge in Pulaski County, Missouri. It's a 346-acre property with beautiful views, mature walnut trees, and a nice 1,800 square foot lodge. This place has a lot to offer, from the pastures, the beautiful creeks. There's nice springs, year-round water, lots of great deer hunting, turkey hunting. There's rotational grazing, nice hay fields in the bottom. The 1,800 square foot lodge-style home. There's a 1,400 square foot insulated shop building. The home is also wired for a whole house generator backup system. This place is just isolated, private, secluded. I mean, it really is a paradise. Getting out on a daily basis and getting to interact with farms like this and see things that you would never believe that was just off the beaten path, and market and showcase and help buyers and sellers achieve their dreams. It's just something that I thought that I'd really like to do. I joined Living the Dream because I feel like that the emphasis that we put on clients is a step above a lot of other brokerages. The values and goals Daryl puts in and passes on to us, we make sure that our client's not just the next sale, but we try to build a lasting relationship.
This segment was brought to you by Gunworks, 1,000 yards right out of the box. And by Blue Otter Polarized Sunglasses. Don't settle for anything less than the best.
Honey Break Lodge is a majestic site towering over the cypress trees of scenic Larto Lake. With 6 lodge suites, 26 beds, and our camp that can host 96, Honey Break can accommodate any event. Visit us at honeybreak.com.
The Climber, a new ultralight design by Gunworks. The Climber is the pinnacle of lightweight, long-range design. Design yours at gunworks.com.
Land is where it all begins. From farmland and working cattle ranches to hunting properties and recreational retreats. We aren't your typical real estate agents. We choose boots over dress shoes and trucks over sports cars any day. We hunt, fish, raise cattle, and grow crops. We understand land.
Now you can live the Honey Break experience. We carry top brands in waterfowl and outdoor clothing, as well as a full line of Honey Break logo t-shirts, souvenirs, and gifts. Visit us at the Pro Shop or online at honeybreak.com.
The following segment is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors, farm, ranch, and recreational real estate.
is Dan Reardon. The business that I have here is Rocking R Outfitters. We are hunting guides, specialize in elk and deer, bear as well. We do some turkey hunting, but the main focus of our outfitting operation is big game. This is an absolute turnkey operation, from the lodge all the way up to the ranch to the stands. I can honestly say that this ground that we have, and I've been a hunter all of my life for Western big game, this ground is as good of ground as I've ever stepped foot on as far as the amount of game that's on this ranch during hunting season. Our success rate traditionally has been well above 70%, and that's when you include archery all the way through rifle. Our lodge sits at 8,100 feet. Our hunting ground climbs up to about 9,500 feet. The terrain here, we hunt a lot of oaks and a lot of aspens. The oaks tend to really attract the game. They love the acorns. They love the grass underneath the oaks because of the canopy. Terrain can be a little up and down, but for elk country, I tell our hunters it's one of the more gentle types of terrain that hold large numbers of elk. We do a lot of our hunting, both spot and stock and out of stands. We have everything from ladder stands to tripods, small tripods, large tripods. We also have ground blinds. And when the conditions are right, we'll do a lot of hunting from stands. When the conditions are right to spot and stock, we'll do a lot of that. No matter what, the elk here are extremely vocal. We do a lot of calling here. The elk are extremely vocal, more vocal than any other area that I've ever hunted elk. When rifle season rolls around, we'll use some of those same stands, but then we also use a lot of our box towers that are situated pretty high off the ground, good vantage points. And same thing, we'll do some calling and some glassing, and we have good shooting lanes that we hunt those elk when they come out of their bedding areas into those open shooting lanes to feed, especially in the evenings. What is the attraction? Why is there so many elk around here? And there's a couple key things. Number one is water. The ranch has a lot of water. We have water holes all throughout the ranch, most of them spring fed. Those water holes never go dry. We have so much water on the ranch that the big game, they don't want to leave. They want to stay here because they're extremely comfortable. A private piece of ground, we can control the grazing. I control how many cows I put on there every year. We make sure we leave a lot of grass left over for the game. We border national forest, and the cattle graze up there all summer long, and we feel like a major attractor to our property is the fact that the elk can come over and stay on our place all summer long, and they don't have to leave because they have plenty to eat and plenty to drink compared to the national forest where they have a lot less to eat and a lot less to drink. Cattle grazing has been very good. We're a registered Red Angus producer. This ranch has always done very well for me as far as the amount of grass that the ranch will produce. Obviously, like we said, with the water, there's so much water, I've never had to worry about water for our cows. Never had an issue putting at least 80 pairs on the ranch from about first or second week of May, and then when you take them off is dependent on the year and dependent on the hunting. Another big attractant for our big game are the oaks. We have a lot of oaks. Many years we'll have some great acorn crops, and the deer and elk absolutely love the acorns. It's somewhat amazing, and in fact we'll be hunting oftentimes and we'll watch as the deer and elk browse through the oaks and literally pluck acorns off of the oaks. We have some areas where we have some pretty good pockets of choke cherries, and obviously the bears will really be attracted to that.
This segment was brought to you by Covert Scouting Cameras. Remain best in the game with Covert Scouting Cameras. And by Swarovski Optic. Perfection meets tradition.
I want to be silent, and I want to be lethal. I want every advantage. With the new covert cell cameras, I'll finally have the edge I've been missing. The only way they'll know I'm here is if they hear my heart beating through my chest.
Here at Swarovski Optic, a lot of time is spent on perfecting a few great things until every idea we touch enhances every moment in the field. For a quarter century, the Swarovski Optic SLC has been making hunters' dreams become reality. Feel the wilderness every time you step outside.
The following segment is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors, farm, ranch, and recreational real estate.
We spend a lot of time up here with our kids. My son is 10 years old and he could guide if I would let him. He can take anybody around to every nook and cranny of this ranch. My daughter, she's 7 years old. She loves coming up here. We spend a ton of time up here.
I'm Nolan Reardon. We get to hunt and fish and do stuff outside. There's lots of elk and it's really cool watching them come in while you're calling them in. I have some cow calls and they're just like the cows and sometimes they'll trap the bulls. I like to come to the ranch because you get to do like a lot more things outside instead of sitting on the couch and looking at a screen.
Lodge has enhanced our hunting operation to where it's about as comfortable as you can possibly make it for our hunters. Commercial kitchen, 4 bedrooms. Each bedroom has its own attached bathroom. Really large, great room, pool table, satellite TV, hot tub. It has everything they would possibly want. The cabin right next door to the lodge, really nice 3-bedroom cabin, extremely comfortable. We also have multiple RV hookups. A lot of people want to bring their RVs. We have our shop, we have our skinning area and our walk-in big game cooler. It's huge for us. We can get our game, we can skin them, and we can put it in our walk-in cooler. It's been a big deal for our hunters that come out here because ultimately we want to give people a great hunt, but at the same time they want to take home meat and they want to enjoy that meat. We know that that meat is going to be high quality when it hits the table. We sit at the base of the Lone Cone. That Lone Cone is an old volcano. You can hike all the way to the top. Obviously, amazing, fantastic views up there. The Lone Cone can kind of produce its own weather system. We get a lot more moisture compared to the town of Norwood, which is only about 15 miles away. There's a lot of geographical features up on the Lone Cone, and from the Lone Cone all the way down to the valley here, there's a rich history. A lot of Indian artifacts are found. We have found artifacts on our ranch. Every year, our hunting seems to just improve. 2018 was our best year ever. Not only have we constructed a lot of stands, but we've also opened a lot of shooting lanes. We've built some roads to access areas. We've put in a lot of work since we've owned this place.
My name is Greg Liddle with Hayden Outdoors. Today we're at the Rockin' R Ranch, Norwood, Colorado. The Rockin' R is owned by the Reardon family. Approximately 1,240 acres of some of the best managed big game hunting in Colorado to this day. I know of no ranch, particularly of this size, that carries this game density. The proximity to the National Forest in Lone Cone Mountain. This ranch has 6 water holes, several creeks that flow year-round, too many wallows and springs to account for, and also carries some of the best mule deer in the nation. The bear hunting and Merriam's turkey hunting is good as it gets as well. Very difficult to find a property of this size that can carry that kind of game. It is a tremendous balance of both the cattle management and the big game here, creating an income anywhere from $150,000 to $250,000 a year. The lodge of the Rockin' R that corners up to the 1,200 acres of hunting. It's adjacent to, but far enough the hunters can enjoy late night arrival. They do not hinder the game whatsoever. The Rockin' R Lodge that we're sitting in today is uniquely positioned over Miramonte Lake, excellent state reservoir stocked with trout, both rainbow and German brown. What makes this ranch so unique is that you have over-the-counter elk tags not only for 30 days of archery season, but 2 of the 4 rifle seasons. It's traditionally 100% draw, so whether it's archery, muzzleloader, or rifle seasons, Rocking R Ranch is going to be pretty hard to beat. It's about as good as it can get.
It's kind of bittersweet. We can come up here and hunt whenever we want, but we feel it's just time to move on. We've kind of put our heart and soul into this place, and we have so many return hunters. That's going to be hard because obviously we're going to be sad to see that go, but we just feel from a family standpoint, it's time to move on to the next thing, turn this over to somebody that will enjoy it as much as we have.
For more information on how to feature your property on LandLeader TV, please visit landleader.com.